Hello, I'm Skip Yolberg, Chief Executive Officer of Grant Memorial Hospital.
We are excited to serve you with our newly renovated private inpatient rooms, comprehensive rehabilitation services, state-of-the-art imaging suite including 3D mammography, the only mother-infant care center in the Potomac Highland region, specialized clinics such as orthopedics and general surgery, and now our new infusion and cancer center in partnership with WVU Cancer Institute. To all our friends, thank you for choosing Grant Memorial Hospital.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again to Explore Grant County and our election coverage. We are so excited to be doing this year. And with me today, I have Janie Berg, who is an incumbent. Yes. And so you are running once again for Board of Education. How are you doing?
Yes, I am. I'm doing great.
It's doing great. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule. We are all so busy that to fit these in has been a chore, but I do appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you for doing this.
Well, you're very welcome. So let's start with a nice, easy question. Okay. You are an incumbent. That means that you're already in office. So what are you running on? What's your platform, your position that you're going to run for again?
My platform just stays the same. It's always about safe school. That's number one on my list. And other things follow as I see fit. But the top main thing that I want to do is always safety. Okay.
So what's one thing from your term? And is it a 4-year election? Is that what it is? 4-year term?
Yes.
What's one thing from this 4 years that you might change, that you might have said, I wish I did that different?
Do you want to know what I want to see in the future? Let me answer.
Okay. Well, we can do the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I've done in the past, I am proud of everything that we have accomplished. Everything. What in the future do I want to see? I want to see some sort of metal detectors put in all the schools. We've done so much up to this point, the windows and all kinds of stuff. So I would love to see metal detectors of some sort in the school system.
Okay. So since we're talking about metal detectors, maybe this kind of answers it, what do you think the biggest problem is facing Grant County schools? Is it the safety aspect?
Well, they have a lot of Corona. Corona has hurt our children to the point where you can't even describe what it has done to them. They need to be in school. And they need to be in school even with a mask if they have to. I hate the mask. I hate the kids having to wear the mask. But honestly, we played the politics to keep our kids in school. It just does not work virtual.
Which I would agree on that. I do agree in that. And we talked with Mitch Webster a little bit about it, and he did say there were some, in the younger kids, some speech issues because you rely on seeing the lips. Yes. And so since we are talking about masks, we'll jump a little bit. Okay. As of the video airing today, I mean, it's not going to air until mid-March, right. But as of our interview today, today is the last day of the mask mandate. So we're excited about that. But what happens next year if a new wave comes? And to me, it's going to end up kind of being like the seasonal flu, seasonal cold. It's going to come and hit every fall, winter.
Absolutely.
And they want to go back to masks. The health department has released that unless you have an N95 or a surgical mask, the others are 0% effective. We were told that maybe it protects 50% of or 20%, but it's actually 0%. So what would we do if we start getting this surge next year?
If and when the surge will hit, because I think it will. If it's not COVID itself, it'll be something similar to that, and we will again have to go by the guidelines. But I can tell you this. I, as a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother, want the children in school. And I will do whatever we have to keep them in school. The social aspects of it is crucial. sometimes I feel myself getting somewhat depressed, and I know that the kids do too. They're not structured. I am big on structure. I want to know what the kids are doing from the time they get up till the time they go to bed. And as a mother and a grandmother and a great grandmother, I want to know what's going to happen to my child when they get on that school bus, when they put their foot on the school bus, and then when they take their foot off of an evening. You have had structure. You do not have structure with virtual. You just don't. I think it's making our kids lazy, and they don't care. They know they'll pass without caring. It's going to hurt them way down the road. Way down the road.
That is a very good point with the virtual, because they don't have that teacher prodding them on. It's just
yes.
Here, get on and look at your tablet for a little bit.
I don't want to call the teachers sergeants, but they are. They're sergeants in education, and they need. You can't do that on a phone. You cannot do that on a TV screen. You just or on an iPad. They got to be in the classroom and learn that their teacher is their sergeant, and to accomplish goals in life, they need this good education.
So do you think that we're going to need to bring this mask mandate back? And here's why I say that. All the after school things are not mask required, but yet during school we're requiring to wear a mask. Well, not as of now, but as of today. But
right.
So should we even ever need to bring that back and just keep the kids in school?
Let's put it this way. I want to keep the kids in school without a mask. I want to keep the kids going to ball games. I want the kids involved in any activity, band or whatever. We've got to keep our kids off the streets. Our streets are ugly. Just read the paper every week. Read the paper every week, and I can assure you there is a drug-related situation every time I pick up the newspaper. And just like the kids getting into the ball games for free. I love it. I love it because, there is some that wouldn't be in those enclosed buildings out on the street during that time. So I am all for that.
So that was actually one of my questions. So the levy portion of getting into the free for the games, you think that's a raving success? That's great for everyone to do?
Yes. When I'm sitting at a ball game and I see children come in of age that are old enough to walk up the street and come in, or the parents drop them off and they can come in and engage in the ball games, they're in the safe environment instead of out on the streets.
And having fun. And I'll be honest, I got to DJ the boys basketball games. I absolutely loved it. Yeah. I mean, I really did love it. And it was great seeing the kids come in.
And the kids need that. They need that extra involvement in something that's going on in school. And I think it keeps them on the right path. And as adults, we need to see that this kind of stuff happens. And if I may say, one of my biggest goals of all the years I've been on the Board of Education, for years, I have wanted the AIDS on the bus. And thank God the people of Grant County voted for the levy, and we are able to have an aide on the bus. You can ask any bus driver, and you can ask parents. They come up, and I don't know these people, and they'll hug me and say, Janie Berg, we knew you fought hard for the aides on the bus, and we would just like to thank you. It brings tears to my eyes and a lump in my throat.
Mitch Webster actually talked about that yesterday, saying that was a huge thing.
Yes.
And instead of a bus driver having to watch, 30 kids behind him now, having that aid helps out.
Yes.
So was that, and I think he said that, but just in case people missed his video, was that like from federal, was that just the levy money?
That's
or did
from
it come
the levy
from
money.
Okay.
Yes, that's from the levy money.
Okay, so that's perfect. So
that
people
was incorporated in the levy money.
So they know where their levy money is going.
Yes, I would like to thank the citizens of Grant County for enabling the Board of Education to put aides on the bus.
Okay, so now we're going to go for a hot topic.
Okay.
If you keep up with the news, you'll know that Virginia was a blue state through and through, and it flipped red this year because of one thing, and that was what happened in Loudoun County with the young man who made his way into a ladies' bathroom and then raped a young lady. I know, and I have to say this because some people might not know. The West Virginia Board of Education has already determined their law on the transgender issue, meaning that you have to allow them to go. How can we protect, if we have to allow that, how do we protect our young ladies and, let's be honest, in today's society, young boys?
There will be, if I'm on the board, there will be a third bathroom. You will have a male bathroom, a female bathroom, and you will have a other bathroom.
Kind of like a family bathroom that you see in the malls, kind of.
Absolutely. If you were born a male and you want to become a female, you will use this bathroom. It's not discrimination. It's just the right of the female that was born a female, that is a female, and goes into the female bathroom, the same as a male that goes into the male bathroom. I absolutely 100% do not want a transgender in the female or the male restroom. They can use their restroom. It's their right. We're giving them a place to go. I'm not discriminating against anyone. You know what? I've been overweight all my life, and I'm walking on a treadmill 5 miles a day, and I've lost weight. I feel better. My brain's sharper. I'm sharper. I'm tired of being in the house. I'm tired of not hugging people. So now I hug people when I see them out. I ask them first. So everybody has something. And if they're transgender, I will not treat them any different, but I will put them in a different bathroom.
So what does, and I for me, having a daughter,
yes,
I love that answer because my daughter is my world.
Yes.
And, but what about when it comes to sports with a locker room?
Same thing.
How do we do that?
Same thing. If you were born a male and you get to play on the girls' basketball team, I don't agree with it. But if the law says...
And that is West Virginia Board of Education policy law as of right now, yes.
If they allow this person to play on the girls' team, they will have a different room.
Okay. Last topic. And this has been a big focal point for a lot of people. And I'll just give a little bit of background information. When my daughter was in elementary school, one day she came home with bruises up and down the back of her spine. I'm like, Autumn, what happened? And she's like, oh, Daddy, a little boy beat up on me. Oh. And I'm like, okay, let me go and talk it over and take care of it. Because my whole thought was, first thing, if a doctor sees that, who do they blame? They always go, parents. What's your family situation like? And I'm like, that's not flying in my house.
Yeah.
So bullying, with Mitch Webster, he went over the bullying policy, what bullying actually is, because some people don't know that. I asked him, I said, well, I'm going to give you an example. If I say, oh, you're fat and you can't run, is that bullying? And he said, by the policy, no. That is not bullying unless it takes place over time and time again to the point where the kid doesn't want to come to school. And obviously we don't want it to get to that point. So how do we combat bullying? What's something that we can... I've seen he's given me the bullying guidelines, and I'm going to post them so everyone knows that might not have seen them. But how do we do that? Is it teachers? Is it guidance counselors? Is it a policy we can put in place?
It's all of the above. It's all of the above. To me, the definition of bullying is any act that is done unto another person by you, and whether it be inappropriate or just rude or just hateful. To me, it's all bullying. One of the key ingredients that needs to happen at the school systems is cameras everywhere. Everywhere. I'm a big advocate for cameras in the classroom.
Was there not supposed to be part of the levy? Was there cameras?
Upgrades,
I thought I saw.
We have cameras now, and I know I was in the high school, and it's just wonderful. There's a whole wall that is nothing but different parts of the building. And that is crucial. And just remember, it's recorded. So if anything happens in wherever they're at, it's recorded, and we'll see what happened. I've asked the question for several years now, being on this board a long time. Why can we not put cameras in the classroom? I'm not putting cameras in the classroom to see how well the teacher's teaching or see how misbehaving the child is. I'm in there to help them, to protect them. And I've kind of, that hasn't happened yet. Yeah. So I'll keep going forward with it.
I would say good luck with that. I don't know. I know that there's technically not a teachers union in West Virginia, but I'm for that simply for the fact of peace of mind.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you come to work for Grant County Mulch, we have cameras everywhere. We don't have cameras in the restrooms, of course, but we got cameras everywhere. And if something happens, we can learn. Look at the incident on the camera, what happened, what should have not happened, and how can we fix it better? It's no different in the school system. And I hope my teachers don't hate me for that, because, Janie Berg for years has fought for the children first, teachers next, and then administration. And you can't do it without none of them. We have to have our cooks. We got to have our janitors. They're equal in my eyes, but I always put the kids first.
Okay. And one final question. I try to keep up on everything that goes on. And the CIS program was just a huge uproar happened about it.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit behind it for some people that might have not got to listen to the Board of Education meetings? Like maybe explain what your thoughts were bringing it in. What good does it do? Is there something we can improve on to help parents?
In the beginning, when it was shown to us what they do and how they do it and where the money comes from and all that kind of stuff. And as the process, I was all for it. And I never seen any of the evil side. There was no evil there. I am not going to allow any kind of my one vote of the 5 votes. I'm not going to allow anything to come into the school that's and the first thing that comes to my mind is religion. You got to be very careful, because if you let one religion in, you got to let them all. The kids are taught at home first. Home is number 1 and school is number 2.
It's a tough question.
I've lost my train of thought, but it'll come back. I'm getting choked up, because when it was brought in, again, I never seen this evil. We were talking about taking care of kids. We were talking about taking care of kids after school, during school. We were talking about mentoring. This is a paid mentor now that is in the school system watching everything that the kids do. And if they see a kid in trouble, they go immediately and help them. When they told me they were buying things like soap, shampoo, toothbrush, toothpaste, I'm telling you, it really hit me big that even growing up as I was a child, we had those things. There was 8 of us in our family, but my mother and my father was able to provide us. And today there's some that don't have that. There's some that don't know what it's like to have that. And this is what that is buying. It is buying clothes for kids. It is buying food for kids. Sexuality and all that needs to be taught at home, not at school.
Okay, and we did talk to Mitch, and he said that there was no curriculum with this program.
None.
And I know it scared a lot of people as you look into it. And then, of course, CRT, critical race theory, was in the website, and it scared people. But there is no curriculum that is being taught with this program.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Hypothetical, and I know hypotheticals are hard. What if they say, okay, now you have to teach this?
Take your money and get out of here.
Okay.
We don't need your money anymore.
So, and I know there is a great need for people. There's a lot of churches in this area that try to do outreach, but the number is so great of kids that need stuff.
Absolutely.
And so I see why there's that willingness or wanting to help.
You know, there isn't anything that brings tears to my eyes any quicker than when the kids were off from school, when the COVID was really bad. And when I'm getting cold chills right now, Mary, the buses were pulling out from the schools loaded with food. And if I'm not mistaken, it was these other items also, toilet paper and toothbrushes and things like that if it was needed. I just absolutely love our teachers for that. What they had went over and above to see that our kids were fed and took their assignments to them and brought their assignments back. So I just absolutely love our teachers.
Some kids really rely on that lunch or breakfast that they get at school.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, we're in a state and a county now that it's all free, and I love that too.
Yeah, that was always the big thing. Two, I think it also helps with, and I'll speak to myself. Growing up in the pastor's home, you get no money. I mean, you just don't have any money.
Yeah.
And growing up, I always had free lunches. Yes. And it was always one of those, well, look at him. He has the free lunch. Oh, look at the poor boy. And with it just being free for everyone, then there's no judgment on here it is. It's free whether you make $1 million, whether you make $10,000.
And, you know, they can't learn without food. And the thought of a child being without food, I grew up in a home where, a very loving home where there was 8 of us, and I used the free lunch too. And sometimes I was embarrassed. And as I look back now, I'm thinking, no, that's just the way it was. And now that they are free because of the economy in this area, it's wonderful. No one has to feel that anymore.
Okay. Final question is not really a question.
Okay.
It is, the floor is open to you to give your final pitch, why they should vote for Janie Berg, which is May 10th is the election date. And go ahead, floor is yours.
You know, when you give me a call, I thought, I don't know. Is this going to be on Facebook? Because I don't have Facebook, and I don't want Facebook. I'm sorry, all you Facebook people. Sometimes I get on there and I don't even know I'm on there. And of course, this time I do know that I am, and I'm very willing to do it. But I see so much evil on Facebook. You got people that rip other people's guts out. You got people that rip out their hearts and their feelings. And most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, it is untrue. That's the part about Facebook I don't like. The part about Facebook that I do like is when you have a big family and you're here and there and everywhere, you can stay connected. You know, I have children that have Facebook, and they'll say, here, Mom, look at this. I want you to see what so-and-so did. And they live in South Carolina. It's wonderful. But some of my experiences that I've had to deal with on Facebook were evil. And I want to thank you for doing something good on Facebook.
Well, I appreciate that. So my goal was, when we started this, was to just be informative. That's all we're here.
Yep.
I'm not pushing, and I've said this to all the candidates, I'm not pushing one candidate over the other. It's here. This is your platform. You say what needs to be said. So I do thank you for coming today.
And I thank you for doing this for all of us.
So remember, May 10th is election. Go and vote. The election coverage is going to be dropping very, very shortly. When you watch this, obviously, it will have already dropped.
Yeah.
But thank you for tuning in to the election coverage of Explore Grant County. Everyone, have a great day.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Skip Yolberg, Chief Executive Officer of Grant Memorial Hospital.
We are excited to serve you with our newly renovated private inpatient rooms, comprehensive rehabilitation services, state-of-the-art imaging suite including 3D mammography, the only mother-infant care center in the Potomac Highland region, specialized clinics such as orthopedics and general surgery, and now our new infusion and cancer center in partnership with WVU Cancer Institute. To all our friends, thank you for choosing Grant Memorial Hospital.